Welcome to Basement MTG, with me, a nerd in his basement. In this video I'll be going over my 4-color Phyrexian deck and the contents of that deck. There are 2 videos out there where this deck plays against self-playing decks, one Battle of the Horde, one to defeat a god, but in those videos they don't always show all the cards in the deck, just what gets played during that game. So in this video it'll be the full deck contents. Now, I'm not going to go through all the lands. There's really no special lands in there. It's all just basic lands or dual or triple lands or searching like Terramorphic Expanse, things like that. I will, however, I'll just show these quick basic ones, as I do like these ones. They just have that Phyrexian writing. Always fun when they do some goofy stuff like that. The instants and sorceries in this deck: 3 Soul-Tide Charms, just good for removal of either creatures, artifacts, enchantments, or some little card drawing. Putrefy, again, some removal. And Glistening Dawn. Incubate X twice, where X is the number of lands you control. Incubate being these. An incubator right here. Goes on, so if it's Incubate X, where it lands you control, so however many lands you control, let's say you even do it on turn 4, since this is 4 mana. So you'd incubate 4 twice. So you get 2 of these with 4 counters on them. You pay 2 to transform it. So it's a 0/0 token, but it's got 4 1/1 counters on it, or whatever the incubate number is. Not a lot of non-permanent spells in this deck, just a little bit of removal, little card drawing, and that incubating. It does focus a lot on the creatures, which do a lot themselves. Now the non-creature permanents: a Johnny Sleeper Agent. I won't totally read through all these abilities, but I'll put it up here nice and good. The artwork. But a pretty awesome card in general, that emblem to get the poison counters. I do have an infect deck, but it does not have white in it, so this has no place in that deck. But there is a bit of toxic and some poison counters in this deck. It's not the main focus of the deck, but it is there. So that emblem can beef it up whenever you cast that creature planeswalker, getting 2 poison counters to a player. There are 2 of the Corruption of Taoshi. It's that incubating again. When it enters, incubate 4. Any permanent that transforms or permanent enters the battlefield under your control transformed, draw a card, do it just once a turn. So you get these, again, these things will transform. Pay 2, transform them. If that's out, draw the card. Love some card drawing, and there's other transform creatures in this deck as well, which will vibe with that a bit. Norn's Wellspring. Again, nice way to draw some cards. And a little scrying, if your creatures are dying. Scry them up, get the oil counter, remove them. This is a goofy kind of card here. Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. Put this up here. You can have opponent mill, put land cards from the graveyard on the battlefield tapped into your control. If it would leave, exile it, but it's really for that second ability. If you can ever even pull this off, I never have. Pay 10 and sack it. Search your library for any number of Praetor cards and put them on the battlefield. And there are some Praetors in there, so just a fun way to potentially pull those all right out. Tangled Skyline. Enters, gain 5 life, incubate 5. Phyrexians have reach. As I said, this is a Phyrexian deck. Therefore, I'll be giving everything in there reach. There's a Battle. Enters, return non-battle permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield, 5 mana. Now, if you're unfamiliar with battles, you put it on an opponent, protects it. You try to attack the 5 there. Then it'll flip. This one will be creature tokens, get +1/+0 lifelink, and get a token every end step. Now, it's also great for these Phyrexian tokens as well. Get them a little lifelink, beef them up a little bit. Phyrexian's Awakening. Another one similar to the screen one here, Tangled Skyline. Get to incubate 4, and then the Phyrexians have Vigilance. Another similar card, Sculpted Perfection. Incubate twice, Phyrexian gets +1/+1. 2 of these auras, which will give something toxic too. If it dies, return the card back to the battlefield under your control without the aura. And then 2 of this battle here, Invasion of Ikoria. Great card to search up any of the Phyrexians in the deck. As you can see, it's got 2 green and X. So whatever X or less is, you can get a non-human right out of your deck onto the battlefield from library or graveyard. This is the only non-Phyrexian creature in the deck, is the flip side here, but it still fits well with it. It's an 8/8 reach, that's nothing to sneeze at. And each non-human can assign the combat damages if it weren't blocked. So naturally, Phyrexians are non-human, so it works pretty well still. And lastly is the creatures. I won't read through them all, but I'll hold them up here. Attracts a Praetor's Voice. Awesome card. That proliferate helps a lot with the incubator tokens, and if you are getting some poison counters out. Grafted Butcher. Phyrexian's getting +1/+1. When he enters, you can give him Menace till end of turn. Little way to get some stuff back. Phyrexian Missionary. Pay that kicker cost. Return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. The awesome artwork of the Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite. Just a great way to knock your opponent's creatures down, maybe even kill them. Beef yours up. Oh, that's another Grafted Butcher. Urtai Resurrected. Flash. Counter some stuff. Destroy some business. Might Overseer. Another way to get some tokens out there. If that one battle flips, you get +1 or +0 in lifelink. Plus they got Toxic 1 for this guy here. Zoppendrill Hunger Dominus. Pretty awesome little card. And you can always sack a couple tokens or whatever else, make them indestructible. Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. Double up that mana. And kind of mess up your opponent on their mana by keeping their lands tapped for a turn. Brimaz, Blight of Oreskos. Whenever you cast a Phyrexian creature or artifact creature, incubate X where it's its mana value. Great way to be beefing up or building up all those incubator tokens. As you can see, everything in this deck, creature-wise, that you'll be casting is a Phyrexian. And at the end step, if a Phyrexian died, proliferate. Shieldred. Let's see, that's one of the Praetors. I wasn't really, Vorinclex is one of the Praetors. I think those are the only ones we've seen so far, or an Elesh Norn. So that one artifact can already be pulling out a few big beasts out if you got 10 mana. Guess I never showed the other sides of that saga. Hold this up here so you can see. An awesome card. I really liked all these Phyrexians. Marching the Machines and the Phyrexian All as One were just awesome sets. Tried to get what I could from those. A little bit of Toxic. This is the alt art of that same card. Another Vorinclex. Different one. When he enters, search for 2 forests, put them in your hand. Can pay that mana to get the saga. Glissa Sunslayer, alternate art on this one as well. Love these alternate arts that they're thrown in. Some great abilities there. Glissa, naturally got to have that first strike death touch. Azuri, there's 2 of these. Claw of Progress. Get the experience counters for creatures power 2 or less. In combat, put 1/1 counters on creatures where X is the number of experience counters. So just beefing up everything. The Necrogen Rot Priest. A little Toxic 2. If anything with Toxic does damage to a player, get an additional poison counter. And you can give creatures with Toxic Death Touch. Here's a Glissa that unfortunately does not have the first strike Death Touch, as that other one did, plus the, don't remember the name now, I'm just running a blank on the top of my head, but the other old school Glissa's got first strike Death Touch as well. That one, what, does damage to a player, get an artifact back from the graveyard or something. Anyway, beginning of combat, you can choose one, incubate 2 twice, transform all incubators, get Phyrexian's First Strike Death Touch. Pretty awesome for that just to be triggering each combat. Can really get going. Phyrexian Censor, nice way to kind of lock down your opponent a little bit. Each player can't cast more than one non-Phyrexian. Non-Phyrexians enter tapped. Bloated Processor. Sack another Phyrexian to put a 1/1 counter on him. If he dies, you can incubate X for his power. A couple other Elesh Norns, a couple Praetors here. It's the same card. Little Vigilance. And of course, flips to the Saga. I love these sagas that the last ability exiles them out and returns them back the other way around. It's just some overpowered business. And last, Elvish Vatkeeper. Just something that enters and incubates and has the ability to transform an incubator and doubling the 1/1 counters. And there you have it. All the contents of the Phyrexian 4-color deck. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to check out the videos where it goes up against the self-playing Battle Horde deck and the self-playing To Defeat a God deck. As always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.